April is my favorite month to start seeds. I'm in zone 6B, and these are the 16 varieties of seeds I like to start in April for a big summer garden. I like to start them early to have stronger transplants and earlier harvests. I'm starting everything from melons and cucumbers to some of my favorite flowers, so let's start with the edibles. The first one I started some already in March, but it's still okay to plant them in the beginning of April, and that would be basil. A few varieties that I like to plant would be Maui lime basil, Genevieve's basil, as well as dark opal basil. Dark opal basil and Genevieve's basil are very good for cooking, and Maui lime basil, I really like to put it in drinks, as well as they're really good in tacos, and they have that slight lime flavor. The next one is one of my favorite things to grow in the garden. That would be cucumbers. I grow several varieties of cucumbers and for different reasons. So my first number one favorite cucumber to grow in the garden would be silver slicer. They are about 8 to 10 inches long. They have very thin skin, and they're a very fast producer. This one is a 52-day cucumber from time of transplant, so it's usually the first cucumber that is producing in my garden, and I only usually plant about 5 plants, and I get loads of cucumbers all summer long. And silver slicer is one of the cucumbers I like to use in my relishes, as I do not need to peel the skin for this one, and they're a good sized cucumber for that reason. Another slicer cucumber I really like to start is patio snacker. This one is also really prolific, thinner skin, and absolutely delicious. I never have any bitter cucumbers with these varieties, and they're very good as well. The last cucumber for slicers would be your typical long English. It's just a very good cucumber to have in the garden for some quick snacks or salads as well. Last but not least is my pickling cucumbers. I cannot forget national pickling cucumbers. They're very prolific, and I usually plant about 16 of them so I can have a year's worth of pickles, as well as my bread and butter pickles that I make out of these ones. The next one would be melons. I love growing melons here in the Okanagan. They do very well, and there's a few varieties that I love to grow, some that have done very well, and some I'm trying this year for the first time. So the one that did really well, I had a few plants on. I think I had 3 plants, and I had probably about 8 melons, would be a green flesh honeydew melon. They did very well on a trellis. I did them on a cattle pad on a trellis, and I used pantyhose actually for little hammocks, and they did very well in that form. Canary melon is another one that I'm growing. I also grew last year, and it was a very good melon. And the new one for me this year is Hale's Best Jumbo Cantaloupe. I love growing anything large, so I am going to be trying Jumbo Cantaloupe. And you guessed it, I am going to be also trying to trellis this one as well, because I like to grow up, and that gives me more space to grow in the rest of my garden bed. The next one is one of my favorite things to grow here in the Okanagan, and that would be watermelons. Watermelons are delicious. They grow really well here, and they actually do have a long enough growing season if you start them early enough. So I like to start them usually about April 6th is when I start my watermelons, and I will have good size transplants for when I put them out around May long weekend, as they are a warm summer crop. And so I want to wait until the overnight temperatures are usually around 8 or 9 degrees Celsius consistently, so they don't freeze in the ground. The varieties I really like and I have done really well for me in previous years are Charleston Gray. This one's absolutely delicious. I usually get about 12-pound watermelons, and of course I did trellis them as well last year with some hammocks, and they did very well. Another one I trellis is Moon and Stars watermelon. Of course, these are bigger varieties, so they do need the hammocks as well. But if you don't have a lot of space and want to grow some watermelons, growing them on trellises do work in the right environment. Another one I grow is Jubilee watermelon. These are absolutely delicious. They're juicy and they are fun to grow. They have these beautiful stripes on them and the kids love them. The next two are new watermelons for me this year, and I'm excited to try them, and that would be Black Diamond Watermelon. I find them, they look really cool, as well as Dixie Queen watermelons. Dixie Queen actually says the plant produces 20 to 30 pound watermelons. So I'm excited to try this one because, of course, I really like growing things that are big. So we'll see how this one goes. The next one is pumpkins. I grow usually 2 varieties of pumpkins, and that would be baby bear pumpkins. I grow on my trellises, and these are the ones that I use in my pumpkin pies. And then the other one is strictly for the kids, and that's for Halloween, and that's jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. And I usually plant a few plants because I do find you get maybe 2 pumpkins per plant. So I usually like to grow 3 or 4 plants to have enough pumpkins for the kids for carving for Halloween. Next would be the squash family. So I really like to grow acorn squash, as well as I do like to grow spaghetti squash. I don't have the seeds for them right now, but I will only be planting about 1 plant in my garden because I'm the only one that likes spaghetti squash in our house, but they do sell well at my roadside stand. So those are the varieties that I will be starting. And then for zucchinis, I like to grow your typical Black Beauty zucchini, as well as my favorite 8-ball zucchini. 8-ball zucchini is fun. They're round zucchinis, about this big, and I like to carve them out and fill them with some beef and some cheese and some rice and some peppers all mixed together in one delicious barbecue zucchini, as well as they're easy and quick to slice up into slices and grill them on the barbecue in 2 minutes for a quick side dish for your dinner. So those are for zucchinis. The last ones for the edibles would be beans. There is 2 bush varieties and 1 pole variety that I like to grow. Strike bush beans was new for me last year, and they're extremely prolific. I could barely keep up to them. They were very good. And of course, one of my favorites for the last 5 years to grow is Royal Burgundy bush beans. They're always loaded with beans and very delicious stringless beans, and they produce a lot on a compact plant, so I can almost not keep up on that one as well. For pole beans, I really like to do this Blue Lake pole beans. They're usually a lot of beans on one plant, so they do really well. And of course, if you are limited on space, growing them up on a trellis is the way to go, and they do really well here. Now let's talk flowers, because these are what actually brings in the pollinators and boosts your harvest. So some of them I did already start in March, and you'll see them in my March seed starting video, but I do like to start them at different times, and there is some varieties that I have not started yet of these flowers, and they are still okay to start in April. The first one would be Alyssum. I really like Alyssum because they are deer resistant. They keep the deer away from my flower gardens and away from my garden in general, and they smell amazing, and they're great for borders. So the first one would be Snowcloth. I really like to grow this one because it does not take over. It grows low to the ground and spreads out nicely. The next one is Deep Rose Wonderland Alyssum. So it has a really nice pinky color to that. So it's a bit of a different pop of color, but I really like to have that one in my garden. And last but not least, I haven't started this one yet, would be Alyssum Sextile. And it is a yellow perennial alyssum that comes back every year, and it blooms, it says, from June until fall. So I'm really excited about that one. Next would be Cosmos. I really like to have Cosmos in the garden for my cut flower garden, but they also really bring in the pollinators. The bees love them, the butterflies love them, and they're really pretty flower to have in the garden. Some of my favorites would be Rubinza Cosmo. This one is a nice, almost pinky reddish color Cosmo, and grows in a bit of a bush. The next one would be these double click cosmos that have a variety of colors and are really pretty flowers. And of course, lemonade cosmos, just because I like the pop of color it adds to the garden. The next one you might have seen in my March seed starting video, as well as you can check on the channel. I have a few videos on them on why I like to have them in the garden and how to plant them, and that would be marigolds. Marigolds is a really good pollinator friendly flower to have in your garden. I didn't quite have enough germination for the double French door marigolds as I would like, and so I'm starting a few more of those, and I found a variety that I forgot about that I would really like to start for my cut flower garden, and that would be sugar and spice marigolds, as they're really nice, big, creamy, white marigold, and I love to have them in my garden as well. And the next one I love for my pollinator garden as well as my cut flower garden, and that would be zinnias. The birds love them, the bees love them, and I love them for bouquets in the summer. So my favorite would be peppermint stick zinnia. I really like the multiple colors you get out of one flower. Giant blue point zinnias are really pretty. They're almost like a coral reddish color, and I love them. And then lastly, Isabellina zinnias. They're really nice, creamy, yellow, whitish color flower, and I love having them in my bouquets. Up next is sunflowers. They're one of my favorite flowers to grow in the garden, and they don't only come in yellow, they come in a variety of different colors, and I love them for cut flowers and for the bees. I love sitting on my back deck and watching the birds enjoy the sunflowers just as much as I do. So the varieties that I'm growing this year would be Italian white. This one a few years ago got almost 10 feet tall, and it was perfect flower for my bouquets. The next one is a new one for me, and that would be cherry rose, a bit of a pink and yellow sunflower, and I am excited to try them in my cut flowers. This one I absolutely love, and that would be Velvet Queen sunflower. It is a big, tall, bright red sunflower and is very pretty in the garden, and the birds love them. Last but not least is a dwarf sunflower. This one is a new one for me, so dwarf sun gold double. I really like growing teddy bear sunflowers because they're nice double dwarf sunflowers, and so this one's supposed to be great for cut flowers on a compact plant but have them all over the plant. So I'm excited to see what this one looks like. Well, there you have it. That would be my seeds that I am starting in April. If you like this video and would like to see more gardening videos like this, hit that like button, hit subscribe on the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. And like always, thank you for watching.